And we're live. What's up, y'all? Thanks for waiting. I've been putting the time a little earlier than I actually want to start because I just don't want there to be so much time in the beginning, I see the chat popping. Let me get a tweet out to say that we are live now. Boom. What's up, y'all? All-Star break. We are officially in it. Good week, exciting week. I just saw a lot of chatter going on today where I was like, I think I got to fire up the pod to speak on some things and connect with everybody before we go into this break, I think spirits should be high, though, for the Nets world. This was a fun week, man. All right, let me get another picture to screenshot and tweet out. Got it. And we'll get started in, 2 minutes. YouTube, I see y'all. Twitch, I see y'all. I had this on Facebook, but I don't think anyone really watches on Facebook, so that's not really a big deal. It's not really a big deal. Live now. Boom. 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 We talk Nets over here. These are for Nets fans only. But, we might get some others that pop in. There's definitely some others that are in close proximity to us that care a lot about us and talk a lot about us, and they creep and they lurk and they watch what we do. So, yeah, yo, this is one of my favorite jackets, like, ever. As soon as I saw them come out with this, I was like, yo, I need to get one. Appreciate the love. All right, y'all, let's get right into it. It's 1:30. It's going to be like a half an hour. So without further ado, Talking Nets, episode 152. Exciting week for me. Exciting week to be a Nets fan. Sucks we lost last night. Honestly, I thought we could have had a 4-game win streak to end this stretch before All-Star, but that's fine. Into the All-Star break we go. It's going to be a much-needed break and a much-needed reset for the team. And then when the team comes back, KD's coming back. Ben Simmons. We hope Kyrie is full-time, and we really hope Joe Harris shows up at some point as we make this push to the playoffs. There's a couple things I want to talk about on this episode. Obviously, we'll go over the Knicks game. We'll relive the Knicks game. I got the clips for y'all. We'll talk about the Wizards game a very little bit, but it's not that important. We were kind of, set up for a letdown after the madness in Madison Square Garden. But I wanted to speak on Nick Claxton's post and some of the other narratives and things that have been going on. So thanks for joining me, YouTube audience, Twitch audience, and the podcast listeners. Talking Nets, let's get it. Yes, sir. Welcome back to Talking Nets, episode 15. Deuce. We got a lot of episodes now. I'm trying to get to 200. Pinstripe Strong, episode 200. That's recording Sunday for my Yankee fans, for my baseball fans. Joe's McFly, Chris McFly, and I will get together in the Bronx to talk baseball. But we talk basketball here. Specifically, we talk Nets right here. So let's get into it and not waste any time. Big week for us. Obviously, we ended the losing streak Monday against the Kings at home. Boom. Then we go into the Garden Wednesday. We were down by 28 points, but shocked the world in front of the whole world. Nationally televised game. These Knicks fans have to hold that L until next Friday. Boom, 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 boom. And we had a letdown last night. I had said on the radio, I didn't go to sleep after the game until 3 a.m., just like being in spaces and on Twitter and everything else, all the excitement, I didn't come down until about 3. So imagine the players playing in the Garden. Imagine what time they finally came down and went to sleep. Then they had to play a back-to-back, a makeup game, right? COVID put that game on that Thursday, back-to-back, where we should have been done. We didn't have enough last night. Guys were shot. Andre Drummond said he was tired, and, Nick Claxton didn't play. And I want to lead with that. So last night after the game, this post came up on Nick Claxton's Instagram story. I don't know if y'all saw this last night. Now, this story was posted after the game last night with James Harden and Claxton. And this is the last image that Nets fans saw of James Harden, right? The Adidas jacket, the mask over his beard, the hood on. He knew he was out. We knew he was out. Nick Claxton posted this with a black heart. And I saw a lot of folks talking about this today. Get Nick Claxton out of here. And we all know they tried to trade him, right? Like, I still see people asking last night during the game, why isn't Nick Claxton playing? Well, Nick Claxton has missed a ton of games this year. It started with him not going to Summer League, right? He could have been playing in the Summer League with Cam Thomas, but I get the idea. In the summer, he was hanging out with James Harden a little bit too much. We saw he was in H-Town for James Harden's softball game. We saw them training together, working together. They're boys. They're friends. And I'm going to revisit that in a second, but let's just go through the, series of events. Nick Claxton did start the first 3 games at center for your Brooklyn Nets. The Nets were ready to force him to be the guy this year, but he wasn't ready. He wasn't in shape. He wasn't conditioned. We heard rumors about him smoking, partying, being up at Dykeman in the Bronx, smoking hookah, being in the clubs. We know James Harden is a club guy. Maybe there's some truth to that. I don't know. I haven't physically seen him with my own 2 eyes. But then Claxton got hurt. He missed a ton of games already this year. And there was a period of time where I felt like the Nets were trying to humble him, right? If y'all remember that stretch of games a couple months ago now, where he was on the sideline in plain clothes. He wasn't even suited up. And I guess he was hurt, but I really thought they were trying to humble him. He changed his hair color. Remember, he was blondie dread. He was Goldilocks. He changed his hair color. It seemed like he was trying to lock in and not have the wrong attention and show that he wanted to play basketball. Well, I have no real issue with him posting James Harden. I came out on Talking Nets Twitter today, and I basically said, yo, you guys got to think about this, right? Think about it like WWE, AWE. It's entertainment. I know it's basketball, so the results, we think all the results are real, and they are. It's competition. AWE, WWE is scripted, and the competition is staged. But without all of the drama, storylines, and narratives, we would just be watching random guys play basketball every night. They wouldn't need names on their jersey. Shit, they could wear masks on their face. We wouldn't need to know who they are. I call it the Narrative Basketball Association for a reason. Every time we do this podcast, I talk about news and narratives because that's what makes the NBA, right? The news around the players, the narratives around beefs and rivalries and who doesn't like who and who's teaming up with who and who wants to be here and all this back channeling and rumoring that the media pushes and that fans eat up. But on the inside, these guys are former coworkers. These guys are friends. Think about somebody that you might have worked with that became your friend, and then they moved on to another job, or you moved on to another job. You didn't hate them. You probably stayed friends with them, talked to them, and saw them outside of work. This is these guys' profession. And so I said that on Twitter, and then I went and got the clip. Last night in the post game, Andre Drummond was asked about this exact type of thing, right? Because fans are making a lot of this new rivalry that's going to occur when James Harden steps on the floor for the Sixers. I, for one, don't fuck with Philly. I, for one, am not a fan of anything Philadelphia. I don't care if it's the Phillies, the Flyers, the Sixers, or the Eagles. I'm never rocking like that. Like, I'm from Monmouth County, where if you go to the next county south, it starts to turn into South Philly or South Jersey, people that think they're from Philly. So I just grew up never rocking that way. I was always going up to New York City. I was never trying to go to Philly. But I've been down there. I've been to Philly's games. I've been to Wells Fargo Center. I've been to the draft when Philadelphia hosted the draft, and their fans were maximum dickheads. And that's their lingo. Dickhead is like their favorite word to say. So let's play the clip from Andre Drummond, Andre the Giant, last night when he was asked about this exact type of thing. Hold on. Are y'all not getting any sound from this? I'm not getting any sound out of that. Did I post this with no sound? I wonder why there's no sound playing. Did y'all hear the sound from that clip? Because it posted on Twitter just fine. But for some reason, maybe it's my headphones versus what y'all can hear. I'll play it, and I'll basically tell you what he said then. So, Andre Drummond was asked about the rivalry between the Sixers and the Nets now. He's from New York. He's playing on the Nets now. He took a second to think about it, and he said, nah, he's like, it's basketball, right? He said, literally, it could be Sacramento, it could be Boston. We're playing against the same guys. Night after night, you got to go out there and compete. Like, that's not, these guys aren't thinking like that. Think about it. Some of these guys met each other playing AAU basketball. They tell stories meeting each other when they were 14, 15. A lot of these guys like Drummond have played on multiple teams already. So that's what leads me to believe that, hey, with Claxton and some of these dudes, right? Yes, there's definitely guys in the locker room. Like, I think like Patty Mills, Bruce Brown, maybe Javon Carter might not be the biggest Harden fans. Who knows? But then on the other hand, Nick Claxton is a young guy that Harden took under his wing. And he likes the guy. It's okay. That's his boy. He can post his boy on the gram. He misses his boy. I didn't really read into that too much. Like, I didn't read into, oh, get Claxton out of here. He's off this team. Like, nah, I think the Nets have humbled him. And I think that he'll eventually, like, either come back and play for us or he'll be dealt or he'll be gone. But the Nets don't care about his Instagram. Either way, moving on. It is a crime that Cam Thomas is not in the Rising Stars game, especially after the show that he put on Wednesday night on ESPN for the world to see. Here's the list. Team rosters: Team Barry, Team Isaiah, Team Peyton, Team Worthy. Now, the Rising Stars game isn't just rookies. It's rookies and sophomores. But most of these guys, man, they're first, second-year players. They're under, like, 22. These are the youngest players in the league, the Rising Stars in the league. And they snubbed our boy Cam Thomas. And I don't think it's right. KD been mentoring the young boy. You all saw it out there. Man, he put on a show in the Garden, went legend in the Garden, the world's most famous arena for other people to ball out, for visitors to showcase what they could do in the Mecca. And Saturday we'll be doing a Spaces before all of the, festivities kick off or whatnot. Myself, Nick Faye, and Jack Manuel from the Brooklyn Buzz podcast. Set your reminders on Twitter. 6 p.m. on Saturday. We're going to do a Spaces where we talk Nets, where we talk NBA, and we talk All-Star. And it's a crime that Cam Thomas is not in the Rising Stars competition, but it's going to put a little chip on his shoulder. If he doesn't already have a chip on his shoulder, which I think he does, I said this on the radio, his favorite player, I saw an interview with him where he said his favorite player was Harden. Harden is gone. He got to be next to Harden and really see what type of person Harden is. He signed to Adidas over the summer, and I thought that was Harden's influence. In the last 2 games, you've seen Cam wearing Kobe's, Nikes, the low-top Kobe's, the all-gold Johns, and then the Grinch ones. I just said John. That's another Philly term. Now, KD is a Nike guy. Kyrie is a Nike guy. Nets are Nike. This is Nike. Like, I would love to see Cam make a switch, and I feel like he's already done the switch because if you're a Adidas athlete, how are you in the Garden in the biggest moment of your young career hooping in Nikes? Like, they must have allowed that. So, news and narratives-wise, Patty Mills will be in the three-point contest this weekend. Some of y'all may remember Joe Harris winning it a couple years back. Supposedly, Patty has asked Joe and picked Joe's brain about what to do, what to expect, how's it going to go. At least we got a guy in the competition. Remember Spence being in the skills competition? I just remember that was before the Nets really got good, and we didn't have that many All-Stars. We didn't have D'Lo yet. D'Lo became an All-Star, but we were so pumped just to win something, just to get some kind of trophy. Three-point contest. Patty Mills, go win it. Bring another trophy home to Brooklyn. Looking forward to that. It's in Cleveland, though. Honestly, like, Cleveland is a whack city for it to be in. I just saw Steph put a tweet out. He's like, going home. I think Steph was born out in Cleveland, right? Going home, but I don't know how to dress for this weather. Like, nobody really wants to go to freezing cold Ohio in the middle of February in the dead of winter. But they got to be fair. That's the site for this year. That's where it is. I wasn't trying to go. I'm good on that. And I'm sure some Nets are, heading out to somewhere warmer, and I'm excited for that because I feel like these guys need a reset. But all right, let's get into these games. So the last episode I recorded was the day of the Knicks game, so I haven't spoke on Talking Nets about the Knicks. Obviously, I was on WFAN. If you didn't hear my open after the game, go check that out. It's on Talking Nets Twitter. It might be on Talking Nets Instagram and my Instagram. It's posted. The first 5 minutes is up. Knicks fans were not feeling that. I got Knicks fans in my DMs talking crazy. Like, it's wild how I was going into that game, and I think I said it on a pod. I'm like, this is the Knicks' best chance to possibly beat the Nets, right? Going into that game, the Nets were on a 4-game win streak against the Knicks. Going into that game, the all-time series was 102 Nets, 101 Knicks as far as wins. We're walking into their arena. It's their last game before All-Star break. They're fully healthy. They got all their guys. They wear their Spirit Halloween City Edition jerseys. I was almost conceding the L, right? We beat the Kings on Monday in our place. I knew it was going to be tough to go in the Garden and win. We started off slow, but it did not matter. Man, what a fun game. I was prepared to go on the radio in New York City where Knicks run the city. It's our town. Nobody cares about the Nets. Like, that's what I got to hear all day as a Nets fan that's made it to the radio. I was prepared to take calls from Knicks fans all night telling us how we're never going to win anything. We're not going to win a chip. The Nets aren't good. They lost, 9 out of their last 10. That didn't happen. A lot of people were hating on Steve Nash in the beginning of that game, and they had to delete some tweets and eat their words. Give Nash his props. If you watched the game on ESPN, I watched it on Yes Network, and I couldn't hear ESPN, but I had ESPN on in the studio, and you could see, like, I think they call it inside tracks, something like that. Maybe that's TNT, but you could see Nash coaching them up. And in the intense moments, he's like, hey, push. Like, this is a challenge for us. Playoff intensity. He was coaching them up. KD was coaching them up. The bench was in it. And young Cam Thomas did it, man. I don't got to tell y'all what happened, but let's relive some of that right now with some clips. Of course I have the clips. I was in the studio, and I was like, wait, I got to clip these games. Now, I'm not sure the order of these clips, but let's look at them.
To feel this pressure.
Thomas, pull up, knocks it down.
Cam Tom, baby.
He's getting to the cup, and he's been finishing well.
Corner, Curry to get the lead back.
Why they leaving Steph open? Oh, I said Steph. That's Seth Curry. My bad. The number 30 got me confused. Seth been looking like Steph lately. Wow. Finesse the process. Thank you.
Thomas from the elbow over Robinson. Ice in his veins.
Ice in his veins. That's Cam Thomas. That's a rookie in the Garden. Showing out. He is him.
Thomas, 16 points. He's been huge in the fourth. On the Aldridge screen, the pull-up. Yes, sir! Section 217 is lit.
Shout out to the Brooklyn Brigade, the fam, the gang. Let me see. I knew I had something in here with the Brooklyn Brigade on it. Shout out to the Brooklyn Brigade. Section 217 had it turned up. All you heard in there was Brooklyn. Yeah, they say we got no fans. They say everybody takes over our arena. Well, you just got your arena took.
Thomas to LaMarcus. The pull-up. The mid-range.
LA all day. LaMarcus, the mid-range. Bruh, like, close them out. Hold on.
Off the mark. Offensive board, Bruce Brown. Outside, Patty Mills, no. Rebound. LaMarcus Aldridge got a hand on it. Saved by Patty Mills. Outstanding effort for the Nets. And Quentin Grimes has the foul. How about the effort on that possession from Brooklyn?
Well, Steve Nash is very up.
Hustle, effort. All we want is effort. We had a losing streak because we had a guy on this team that refused to actually give maximum effort. Bruce Brown will give you effort. Patty Mills will give you effort. And in that moment, we saw Steve Nash probably as fired up as we've seen him. I like seeing that out of Steve Nash. He's a nice guy. He's soft-spoken. But in that moment, I felt the intensity. Hold on. This is how the game ends.
Looking to get it in. Finds Cam Thomas. Knicks are going to play D. 4 seconds. Thomas, rookie on rookie. The pull-up for 3. Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me? The garden is shook.
Bang! We didn't get the bang from Mike Breen on ESPN. I get it. He's a Knicks guy, Knicks fan, calls the Knicks game. He should have gave us his patented bang. But our guy Grady, shout out to Michael Grady, he's been on Talking Nets. You got to go back to the scamdemic. I think back in I don't know, when we were quarantined, we had Grady on. He's like that. He's like that. He says in his call, the garden is shook. What a call.
No timeouts. Burks batted away. Randall to Fournier in the corner. Unbelievable comeback for Brooklyn. Down 28. They come all the way back. 28-point comeback ties the franchise record, which we all remember, March 19th, 2019 in Sacramento. The rookie, Cam Thomas, 16 points in the fourth quarter. And the Nets, once again, in a span of 3 years, do the unthinkable.
Exceptional. And you felt it in the juice. You felt it in how there was some game-changing.
Nets world, baby. I know y'all love that. I know y'all love reliving that right there. What a comeback. Were some of y'all around a couple years ago when we had that comeback in Sacramento? That was crazy. D'Lo, Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, largest comeback wins. That's all time. That's all time. And the Knicks also did some all-time stuff this month, right? Who you mad at, Knicks fans? Me or yourself? Who you mad at? The Nets or your players? They didn't show effort. They gave up a 28-point lead. And what I'm talking about with the history this month, it was on ESPN. These guys blew 3 20-point leads this month. And we knew that coming in. Second half intensity was up. We closed them out. Josh Giddey got busy in there right before Cam Thomas got busy in there. Josh Giddey and the Oklahoma City Thunder beat them in overtime, and the Nets knew that we could beat them in regulation, and we did. That's it. That's it, y'all. Not much to say about that. Our world, Nets world. Don't let these Knicks fans tell you to be quiet. Don't let these Knicks fans tell you to shut up and stop talking about your team. We don't talk about them until we play them. We don't think about them until it's time to face off, right? They're always talking about us. They can't let us live. We just are happy that the Nets are good now, right? We are just happy that our team competes and it's fun to watch. During that losing streak, it was tough. It was tough to watch, but there were games where we kept it close. We kept it close with the Warriors. We kept it close with the Suns. We kept it close with the Heat. Those are top teams. And we kept it close with them without Kevin Durant, without our actual leader, the best player in the world that's on our team. We did that without Kyrie in some of these games that we had the losing streak. We did that without Joe Harris. And Ben Simmons is on this team, y'all. Wait for it. Now, I don't think I have too many voicemails, which is cool because this is a quick episode. But I think my guy, Bird's Eye View, called up right after the game. Let's see. Run it back.
Yo, Keith. This is Bird's Eye View. Yo, the Knicks, the fans, everybody, they all said the Knicks run New York. What a joke. What a joke. Brooklyn all day, baby. Cam Thomas, a killer. Let's go, Brooklyn.
Simple as that, y'all. They got to hold that L until next Friday. They don't play another game until next Friday, so they got to stew in that. When I'm telling you, like, I went on the radio, I smoked them. I had to. Because for years I've been listening to New York radio hosts talk about the Nets like we're not in New York, like we're not a real team, like we're second-class citizens. To the victor go the spoils. When you win, you can talk. When you lose, you shut the fuck up. Simple as that. Now back to the topics at hand. Let's talk about this game last night, man. It really doesn't matter too much. Like I said, we were kind of set up for a little bit of a letdown. In my opinion, it is extremely tough to play after a high energy, high excitement game in New York in a rivalry like that. Cam Thomas is a young man. Who knows what time he went to sleep, right? He might have been up all night like I was up till 3, probably later. But what I liked about the game last night, Javon Carter showed out some. He had a good game. He's showing people why the Nets stuck with him. It's unfortunate we had to lose DeAndre Bembry, but I'm glad to see that Javon Carter is putting in work. I'm glad to see that Javon Carter is shooting better. Patty Mills tried to lead the way last night. There's only so much you could do when you don't have your legs. Andre Drummond got on and said, I'm tired, man. They're shot out. If someone would have told me there's 3 games this week, which one did you want to win? It'd be the Knicks game, and that was the one that I thought we were going to lose. If someone would have told me we could win 2 games this week, it would have been the 2 that we won. The game Monday against the Kings to break the losing streak, and then shocking the world, turning up in Madison Square Garden, our fans taking over the arena, and our rookie leading us to victory. You got to love it. But last night, LA had 16, Javon had 14, Cam put in another 20, Patty Mills led the way with 22. That boy Seth must have been a little tired. He played 31 minutes. That's the most minutes. He only had 12. And it's okay. Bruce had 10. At least Bruce is back. We're getting last year Bruce. It's okay, y'all. We are, let's look at the standings. We are in 8th, and it seems like we've been holding in 8th. But, like the Sixers were on a little bit of a losing streak. The Sixers versus Bucks faced off last night. You should go run that on, YouTube and see the highlights. That was interesting. Sixers beat the Milwaukee Bucks because they had to. But right now in the standings, I can screenshot this and pull the standings up for y'all because this is where we're at, right? This is where it's frozen at for right now. And I think this is very interesting to look at in regards to our team and like where we're headed and what to expect. I know a lot of people like to overreact. I know a lot of people, literally Knicks fans, oh, you're going to be a play-in team. Maybe, maybe not. So the Nets are in 8th. They're 7 games out of first. Don't worry about first place. It's going to be near impossible for us to get to first place. But we just want to get to 6th place so that we can avoid the play-in. Who do we play first game back, February 24th? The Celtics. The Celtics are holding that 6th spot because the Celtics went and won 9 games in a row. The Raptors we're going to face back-to-back, right? The Raptors are right above us. It's all right in front of us. And I'll start pulling up the schedule too. But look at how close the number 3, 4, 5 teams are, right? They're tied up. The Sixers, the Cavs, and the Bucks are tied up at the All-Star break. It's not out of reach. It's not out of reach, y'all. I'm telling you, like, I can see where this is going to go. We are going to face the teams in front of us. And I'm a baseball guy. So in baseball, we do a lot more looking at the standings because it's 162 games and you play every day. We do a lot more looking at the standings and looking at the schedule and looking at the out-of-town scoreboard to see who our opponents are facing and, you know, how the thing's going to shake out for us to, like, climb back to the top if we're in that situation or whatever. I'll pull up the schedule now because it's right here in front of us. When you get KD back, when you get Ben Simmons back, like, Kyrie could potentially be full-time and Joe Harris. I know we're hoping on a lot to happen, right? We're hoping on a ton to happen, but look at the schedule, okay? Never mind the loss to the Wizards, but we faced the Celtics, like I just said. Then we faced the Bucks. We faced the Raptors back to back in, like, you know, what they've been doing in the NBA since last year, this, like, home and home series where, you know, you face a team at home and then, you know, you go face them on their territory. Then we got the Heat again. We almost beat the Heat without KD in their arena. KD should be back by March 3rd, and I hope they don't slow play this. Like Steve Nash, I don't know what to believe with Steve Nash. He's got a great poker face. He lied and told us we weren't trading James Harden. I knew he had to say that. But, like, he came out and said, yeah, you know, it's no guarantee that KD will be back on the 24th, that first game. Okay, we don't have time to waste. KD even came out and said every game counts. He knows we're playing a game right now to get out of the play-in. Let's look at the rest of the schedule. Celtics again. Hornets are another team in the standings that's below us, but can knock them down. They're right below us. They're number 9. We're number 8. The Sixers, March 10th. I cannot wait. I'll be at the station. I won't be at that game, but I can't wait for that. And then you get the final matchup against the Knicks, a day game on a Sunday. I'll probably be there for that. It's going to play in our favor. It's going to work out, y'all. We're definitely going to be in the playoffs. And you can quote me on that. You can clip this podcast, whatever. We're definitely going to be in the playoffs. And I think we have a good shot to avoid the play-in. All right, last but not least, the All-Star game is this weekend. I don't know if you guys are into the dunk contest, the skills competition, and everything else that goes with it. But here is Team LeBron and Team Durant. And Joel Embiid and Ja Morant and Giannis and Steph. Like, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch. These are the best players in the world. Shout out to Andrew Wiggins and that K-pop star that got him in there. Can't wait to see Book and Luka. Shout out to Darius Garland getting in at home. Not that fat bearded one. Let's see who else is in there. Karl Anthony Towns, Jersey. It should be good. And last but not least, our guy Jared Allen. I'm glad that Jared Allen got in because Harden stepped out. He won't be playing. And Jared Allen gets to be on the floor in Cleveland. Who paid him, representing as an all-star. All right, y'all. Let's fire up questions in the chat. Anything you guys are talking about or thinking about that you want to bring back up for me to speak on, go for it as we wrap this pod up. I said this is only going to be a half hour. Just wanted to touch base with everyone, give my thoughts on the Knicks game, relive some of that, give my thoughts on the game last night. It's tough, you know, like I said, the Wizards were coming off a back-to-back too, but they were in Indy and they lost. They were motivated last night. Ish Smith, Kyle Kuzma, Bryant, Hachimura, Neto. Good for them. The Wizards have actually beat us twice in like the last week. And for some reason, the Nets always struggle with the Wizards. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. But that's a game that like doesn't really make me flinch at all. So, all right, fire up the chat. Fire up the chat. Fire up the chat questions right now. I saw you guys talking a bunch of different stuff. Let me scroll back up and see what the conversation's about. It's a lot. I appreciate y'all, man. I remember when we were doing these, the first lives that we were doing, had like 5 people watching. But we kept at it. We kept building. I remember someone tried to like play me. Someone came in and they're like 6 viewers. And I'm like, Yeah, bro. Like, you got to build. You got to start somewhere. All right, let's see. I'll just give shout outs right now. Shout out to Jarrett. Noti Squad always in here. My holy king, Joey D. Josh from the Bronx is a new subscriber. Josh from the Bronx calls into my radio show. He's very supportive, New York sports fan. What up, William? William says, the Nets own the Knicks. Facts, say that. They know that too. That's why they're mad. They're big mad. There's nothing they can do about it but be mad. And say, oh, you don't even have any fans. Nobody in this city cares about the Nets. Okay. I don't mind being in the minority. I am a minority. I'm used to this. I don't mind you treating us like little brother. I am a little brother. Like, my brother was 10 years older than me. I'm used to this. I grew up, and I know what it feels like, right? These Knicks fans are feeling this team that's only been there for 9 years, that got bigger and stronger, and now is just punching them in the face every time. Imagine your little brother growing up, and you can't beat him anymore. And you used to tell people, he'll never beat my ass. He'll never be as big as me. That's how I feel like these Knicks fans are going through it with us. Feo's in here. He said, Keith got called the ultimate insult. Ladder. Yeah, somebody on Twitter was like, Keith, it's one thing to be a Nets fan. It's another thing to be a Knicks hater, and I think you're the latter. Not with T's. He put D's in there. And you know me. I'm an internet head. I read everything on the internet, and I go back and forth with these people. It does not bother me at all. It's part of the game. This is all fun. This is all entertainment. Bing bong. Joey D says, hey, Keith, bing bong. And he has a throw up emojis. All right, back down to the bottom of the chat. What up, Brittany? I see Brittany in here. Colin. How big of a problem is Andre Drummond's free throw shooting? It's not yet. How big of a problem can it be? We'll see. Same thing with Ben Simmons. We'll see. But there's strategy and stuff behind all of this. I don't really look at that like, you know, I don't really look at that as like, oh man, it's doomsday. We're gonna end up in a playoff series and these guys are gonna be on the line. Keith, you think Seth Curry will be a key factor in the Nets winning the chip? Absolutely. Absolutely. That young man wants a ring. That young man has watched his brother win. And I think he's going to be wide open. You know, I think there's going to be some times where this guy is wide open and he's just going to be knocking down shots. You can't guard everybody. I look forward to seeing him on the floor with KD and Kyrie and Ben. Let's see. Couple more. William says, can't wait for the Yankees to start their season. I'm just trying to get the spring training, but you and me both, bro. You know I need that as well. What's the timeline for Joey Buckets? I think it's this, right? This All-Star break is going to pass, and then they're going to start ramping him back up if he can play. If not, we're going to hear that he's getting like a second surgery and it's a wrap for him. And I really hope that's not the case because this year was supposed to be the Joey Buckets revenge tour. Like, I was looking for my boy to come back and show the world who he is. Jared also says, will we ever see Claxton play? Will Clax play some games to rest LA or Drummond? I don't know. For some reason, I just always think that Claxton is not in good standing with the team. He's missed a ton of games for conditioning, for illness, being sick. I feel like, you know, he's like a bad kid in class. Like, the teacher don't like him that much. You think we should sign Gary Harris? I see the Gary Harris rumors. I see the Goran Dragic rumors. We'll see what happens in the buyout. We need a buyout wing. Yeah, P.S. Savage, I saw you talking about that. You know, I seen a few people in the chat like, yeah, we need a 3-and-D wing. What do you think about Kessler, bro? Dude has hit a major wall lately. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about Kessler Edwards. Rookie wall, well, luckily he gets a week off. Kessler Edwards is still a top defender. Go back and look at this losing streak and watch how he put clamps on some of the best players in the NBA. I got no problem with Kessler Edwards not being able to score it. We do need him to work on that three-point shot if he's going to be in there, but his defense alone has already helped us a ton. Let's see. Patty Mills is definitely winning the three-point. We hope. Is there video from your opening after the Knicks game? There is. Let me see. I put it on Twitter. I put it on Instagram. Let me see if I can send it from my phone into the chat, and we'll close with that. Like I told somebody recently, I was like, yo, I wasn't planning on doing that. I thought we were going to lose that game, and I really was just like prepared to, I don't know. I was just ready to lose the game. I thought there was a chance we lost the game. We had lost 11 in a row. We had the way that game started, we had every chance to blow that game, and we gave them every chance to blow that game. So, I don't know. I don't have the video, but I'll play the audio so you guys can hear it.
Sports Radio 101.9 FM. The Fan. WFAN.
Brooklyn. You can hear them in the Garden across the entire Nets world. The Nets win. The Nets win. Let's go. You thought you had a win. We didn't quit. Keith McPherson stepping in for this. Oh, look at that. It's 11-11. One's on the clock. Let me rock. Shout out to Capper and Carino, Brooklyn Nets radio epic. Carino on the call had me hyped. I was clipping up on Talking Nets. And the Nets are the talk of the town. You can have the city. We want the world, our world, Nets world. The Nets have beat the Knicks 5 times in a row. Tonight was their Super Bowl. Better yet, Game 7. They came out hot like it was Game 7. In the spirit of Halloween jerseys. Bing bong goofies.
Bing bong.
The Nets win behind Cam Thomas, a rookie in the Garden. Josh Giddey and Cam Thomas own the Garden this week. It's facts. And the Knicks just find a way to outdo themselves for worst loss of the year again and again and again. Smoking on that Knicks pack tonight, 25-34, that's wraps. The Nets just put a dagger into the Knicks season. If you didn't think it was over, it is over now. I don't know who you got to get rid of. If it's Tibbs, he can go. Perry, Rose, maybe it's Dolan. Sell the team. What an embarrassment in front of Spike Lee, John Stewart, Tracy McGrady. Tracy Morgan. Kevin Durant was having a blast in street clothes. James Johnson, who beat the Knicks last time in Brooklyn, handled business tonight. LaMarcus Aldridge, clutch. Old man still got it. Bruce Brown, appreciate you. And Steph Curry's brother knows what to do in the Garden. Seth and Andre Drummond are here. Thank you, Sixers. We appreciate it. We really appreciate it. Bing bong. I hate the Nets. There's no Nets fans. Nobody cares about the Nets. We had them. We were up by 28. Those refs, man. Tibbs, call a timeout. Julius Randle had 31. We beat the Warriors last week. Come on. I hate that they keep just bringing me back in. My loyalty to the Knicks is fleeting. I can't be a Knicks fan anymore.
Bing bong.
I can't take it. We were a 4 seed. We said we want Brooklyn. We want Brooklyn. And look at this. R.I.P. bozos. That's
Bing
it.
bong.
That's all she wrote. That's enough. That's enough. You get the gist of it, man. Had to smoke them because any other host in New York, maybe not Evan, any other host in New York that would have been on after that game would have been talking about the Knicks, would have been all about the Knicks. Even if they trashed the Knicks, it would have this lean Knicks where they wouldn't give the Nets any props. And our world, Nets world, it's our time, man. We needed someone on the radio, not even just me. Like, I'm blessed and thankful that it's me, but we needed someone on the radio to speak for the other side because it's always so slanted. There's always an excuse. There's always a twist of the narrative. There's always a heavy lean Knicks because they can't talk about the Nets objectively. They always have to make it a thing where it's like, oh, well, you got no fans and no one's going to care about the Nets in this town. Well, yeah, there's a good amount of Nets fans, and we're building and we're winning and we're focused on getting W's, nothing else. We don't care about attendance. We don't care about who runs the city. We're trying to be world champs. And as of right now, the Knicks haven't beat us in over 2 years. So appreciate y'all. Thanks for listening to WFAN. Thanks for listening to the pod. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube, the pod, the Twitch, all of that. This stuff is building. And through this week off, I'm going to take a week off. I think the next pod will be Thursday before the Celtics game. And, I'm trying to put a little team together. I want to do an episode that's like, a bunch of different fans, and I'll bring some different people in, and we'll get ready for this push, because this next push is the push before playoffs, and we're going to have a great spring into the summer rooting for our Nets. Don't let anybody put you down that's a Knicks fan. They're all-time trash, and they're always bad. We have figured out how to win games. We have figured out how to be a winning franchise that goes to the playoffs, and they're tight about it. Their owner doesn't ever have to be accountable. Right? Our owner does things for the fans. Our owner brings in top talent. Our owner cares. James Dolan just cares that his arena's in the middle of the city and tourists go there and people buy the merch, and the product on the court is foul. Like, it is garbage. It is trash. They are not good. So that's all. Subscribe to the pod. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all that. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. You know that I do this for the Talking Nets fam, the Nets world, and all of us. Call a voicemail up if you want for the next episode. The next episode should be the fan episode. I'm going to try and have 8 of us in this square. I don't even think it lets me have 8. But I think it'll be 4, and then I'll rotate people in. But enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the All-Star game. Enjoy the break from basketball. I have 4 5-hour shows on WFAN next week because there's no basketball. So call me up over there if you want to talk about the Nets or, outlook for the rest of the season. And, yeah, that's all I've got. I got to get ready for the show tonight and head into New York. That's it. Appreciate y'all. Our world, Nets world. You know how we end this thing. Let's go Nets. Let's go Nets. Let's go Nets. Let's go Nets. Bro.